back to that concentric truth principle. So what's happening outside between he and I needs to be happening inside as well. So when he pushes, I am not going yang to his yang. Inside too, I don't have the mind of going yang to his yang. So I'm just relaxing. Everything is relaxed. And I'm at zero. I'm going to call it zero. Meaning I'm not on the yang side and I'm not on the yin side. Okay? And that will happen in the entire technique. So as you can see, if I go plus, then you can see that I have his center. So while I'm at zero, I'm not in his center. I'm right there on the surface of his center. So you can control him. You see, as I'm bowing, it's making my hand travel forward in the sagittal plane. Okay? And that whole technique is like that. So inside relaxed. As I start to move over here, you can still have his center. You see? Boom. I still have his center. Okay? As I come up, I still have his center. Still have it. Come up, still have it. Still have it. And that's where I do the technique. So, it looks like it's all very yin, you see, but that totally feels different, because I don't have this center, okay? But it can't be, I don't want to push like I was demonstrating, okay? It's all at that neutral, so we do it the other way. So he tries to go plus. And if I stop here, you can see that he can't go past that, you see that? If I was in the negative side, he'd push through. So I'm doing the technique, he can't compromise that. Same thing, as I come here and he pushes, he can't compromise that. As I trade, he can't compromise. He's push, he can't compromise that. Push in, he can't compromise that. You see how I'm doing that? So I'm not negative, I'm not plus. I do the same technique, the same exact way. So, let's do it as a spot test. Let's first do the positive spot test. You see? So I'll check here, right? I'll check here. I'll check here. I'll check here. Then throw. Then you do the negative check. So he's trying to push. He can't push. He's trying to push. He can't push. He's trying to push, he can't push. He's trying to push, he can't push. He's trying to push, he can't push. Then the throw. Do you understand these two tests? Does Uka understand the two tests? Okay, let's go. So what we're going to try to do is give us more metrics so we can see if we're doing it, okay? So, Leah, come. Okay, so feel around as I'm doing the technique. Mush. You see how it's mushy. Okay. Then come to the front though, and he's pushing here, and just feel. It's mushy, right? Okay, but you can push. You see how I'm doing that? So mushy, but stable. Okay? So as I go to the technique, it's still mushy, but stable. Okay? I'm over here. Boom. Let's do the negative test. So he's pushing on me, but mushy, but stable. Okay? I go, as I stand up, you're still there, right? Still mushy. You see? Still mushy. Because it's easy to go like this. You come around and you feel around, right? I can hear like that, you see? And everything is like that, okay? Everything is super tense. You're trying to do this stuff. You understand? So, I have positional integrity, but I have center connection, but nothing is tensed. Can you see how I'm doing that? Okay. We'll go in threes, and third person's gonna come around and feel if you are doing it, and press test on something that's you think's not in the technique, like the other side of your body. Do you get that? Because what I'm seeing is as you go, like right now this arm's totally not doing it, and now it'll start again doing it. You see that? So you're gonna do both third person to see what's tense, and then press check that other part that they think's not in it at any point. So let's say when my arm, this is where I see a lot of it. So he's pushing on me, right? So if I let go of the energy, you can see he's trying to knock me down. Can you try to knock me down? Okay, that's what he's trying to do. And when you guys bring this arm is like you're not doing it inside. So if you come around and you have like a wrist grab, yeah, you see, and if she's pushing, you wouldn't be able to get that arm there. Do you understand? But as I'm moving, you see how I'm doing that? So you guys have parts of your body that's not working, and as a result, you are actually doing yang to yang, because internally you don't have the yin and the yang reconciled. You see that? And so because you're doing yang to yang by default, of the other hand being way too yin, then this hand will go way yang. And that's how you're doing the technique. But as you can see, is you can't stop that hand from moving in the same way that he can't make that arm go back, okay? It's gotta be a relaxed, reconciled yin and yang, externally, internally as well, okay? So the third person, press check on those things. You should be able to see where, yeah, that's totally not like the other arm. You should see the difference, okay? All right, so I'm using that mechanism, this yin-yang reconciliation. I am using it. It has a purpose. So I have to orient it towards an aim. I'm not just trying to develop it in myself, okay? I do need to do that, but I want to have a purpose to it in this Kihon, okay? And the one that is now eluding you is that you don't have the center connection. You're not sure how to get it through their arm. And different uke themselves have a different skill level of connecting their center into their arm. So, for example, if I have a uke who is doing the yin pressure testing, right, from their center, I will automatically, by default, find their center simply by staying connected to the wrist, because they put their center into that. You see that? But as you have different uke, so the uke who's like pushing only at the shoulder, I have to still be able to find the center. And that becomes more of a task where even decent uke who can do it here will now start preserving themselves and withdrawing from the prescribed energy that uke is assigned to. So their center's not in their arm anymore. Do you see that? So you can't just push on the arm, it'll do that. You have to be able to still find the center. Do you see how I'm doing that? And the same thing goes, especially here, like if I just push on his arm, the arm will collapse. So even as the arm is collapsing, I still have to find the center. And this is where most uke that still haven't reconciled fear, they're completely out of their arm right now. You see that? And so you're throwing and you don't have their center. So it doesn't change. It's just, in other words, it doesn't change. He's got his center in his arm. It's just, that was easier because he put it there. Okay, but the sensation is the same. So I keep feeling for the sensation as I'm doing this. Just keep feeling for it. And it doesn't matter whether I have to push to do it, or even if I go into here. You understand? The sensation is the same. So let's pay attention to that. You should feel it'll go totally yin on you. Okay? So like you come here and he disconnects, you're like, oh, holy cow. That just feels like a wet noodle. Okay? That wet noodle, that transition is in a combative application, that's the beginning of a counter. And the beginning of they neutralizing your control over their center. So you want to know what that feels like, and you would not do the technique that they just countered. Do you get it? So as you're going, you would feel that I still have his center. I still have it. You want to have that skill. So I don't want you to subconsciously go and you're being ruled by Kihon. This is not Kihon. This is the shape, but it's not Kihon Waza. Okay? So always task yourself with, I have his center. I never let it go limp. Do you get what I'm saying? And so combatively, if we go and he goes limp, I still will keep his center. If I can't keep his center at that point, then I would catch it at another point. You get it? It's not, so I have to have this same yin-yang reconciliation externally, internally, because it allows me to have sensitivity enough and control enough to be able to note, do I have center control or not? Okay? This is a very common misunderstanding. And this is what I'm trying to say is, this is a good training tool to have him put his center in his grip. And it opens the door for me to feel what I'm trying to feel for. And he's not wasting 50% of his mat time because he is learning how to utilize his center at his extremities. Do you get that? Which is usually how we're fighting. We're not fighting like this, okay? So I want to know how to project my center away from my spine in this kind of circumference. So he's learning that too, which is why I say that uke who has made themselves more projectable is the uke who's more able to project someone, okay? But in real life, because the connected center, because being centered is ultimately related to your degree of reconciled fear, those who cannot use their center particularly, or remain centered particularly in human versus human violence, even abstract versions like Kihon Waza, right, will not have reconciled fear and they have a disconnected center. Okay? So they'll be, from their point of view, wasting 50% of their mat time. But they provide an interesting next level training for me because he put his center in his grip, and all I have to do is maintain my position, and I should have his center, because he put it there. But the unreconciled fear uke doesn't do that, and now it raises the next level of aim of my agenda. What I want to do is, can I find his center from wherever I'm touching him? Do you get that? Okay, so he's loose. I have to be able to find his center wherever I'm touching him, and with whatever I'm touching him with. Okay, got that? All right, so now this raises the question that the uke, you'll feel the limp noodle. That's what you felt, okay? Why do I say it's the next level skill? It's because I am the active agent in the center connection as nage, not uke. Okay? So he goes, I feel that go loop, but look, I pick up his center. You see? I'm not reliant on him. So his arm goes weak, and usually you see all that. That's what happens. But you find the relationships that you need to get his center moving again. And I can't tell you what it is. Go back at 10 degrees, at 0.25 kilometers per hour. It's a sensation. And it's the same one that you should be feeling here. That you should maintain here. That you maintain here. Do you see that? And so when he goes off, when he goes limp, you still have it. So wherever I'm at, I'm not doing this. You see? Wherever I'm at, I maintain this connection. Okay? Even when it goes to the pin, I'm not going like this, right? I am maintaining that center connection that's moving him. You guys see that? So, your question is a false question because you're saying that you lost, that connection was gone. Yes, it was gone, but it's not gone because of what they did. It's gone because you didn't move to the next connection point and connection vector. Do you get that? Then what I'm asking you to do is to feel when it goes limp and find the next path to keep the sensation. You understand? All right, let's go. All of that is the bare minimum of Kihon, plus all the mechanical and tactical concepts that you're supposed to have. So if you leave any of it out, there's no point in my opinion, okay? So I'm doing Kihon, and I just keep doing this. I'm working on the extension and the connection. And when you see the atemis, that's when I felt the wet noodle, okay? And I'm just working that, trying to be relaxed. Still very yin. Okay, that's Kihon. Let's put it together. Go.